Hey everybody, my name is Craig and welcome to the Dog Therapist. I'm here obviously again with my little working cocker spaniel Nelly. Nelly's now 7 months old. This episode is going to be all about one thing and one thing only, and it's going to be about recall. So, recall, it's one of those things where if you don't do it right, then you're going to have loads and loads of problems. You've got to really work hard at recall. It isn't something you can do like 2 or 3 times and it's going to magically happen. It's one of those things that you've got to put the hard work in. So if you've got a puppy, or if you've got a dog that's a year old, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old and is running off every time you take it off the lead, then there's a few little tips and strategies that I'm going to show you that's worked for me. And when I say I've tried everything, in just over 25 years, I've been training dogs and I've tried every single tip and every single trick that you can think of for doing recall, and I've found that only one way really works. First thing you want to get yourself is you want to get yourself one of these. This is obviously a long lead. It's a slip lead, but I mean you don't have to have one of these. I mean you could use a clothesline if you wanted to. I mean this one is about 6 meters long. And that's the first thing you want, so you're still in control of your dog when it's running around, so it's very easy to get hold of, it's very easy to catch. So if it is being a problem, these things, just get yourself one of them. That's the first thing. Okay guys, the first thing you want to do is you want to get yourself in a hallway. The reason why you want to get yourself in a hallway is because the dog can't go anywhere. The dog then can only go forwards or backwards. It can't really go left or right, it's stuck. So the dog's stuck in one place. So you want to get yourself in a hallway, put the dog on the long lead, and you start very close to the dog like this. So you start very close and you say, Nelly come, Nelly come, Nelly come, like this. Yeah? You put your hands in front and you have Nelly come, Nelly come, Nelly come. Can you see? Take the dog back. Good girl, sit. Give him a little stroke, let him know everything's okay. Then again, very simple. Nelly come, Nelly come. And you want the dog running in front of you like this. Nelly come. Good girl, good girl. Okay guys, so step 2 is, again, you're in the hallway, again you've got the long lead on, but this time, rather than having the dog really close as you're going backwards, you want to take a few steps back. Start with 2 steps back, then call the dog towards you. And then as you progress, go to 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps. Until then, you're right at the end of the hallway, and then the dog comes to you. Each time they come to you, you can either treat, give them loads of treat, or give them loads of fuss. One of the key ingredients to recall is when that dog comes back and does as it's told, you've got to make sure that dog has something really good. So whether it's a tickle under the chin, a tickle under the tummy, or it's a treat, whatever it is, you've got to make sure that when they come back to you, something really good happens. So guys, step number 2, first thing is, make sure that your dog is sitting square in front of you. So I'll get Nelly square now, so you see what I mean. We've got the long lead on. We scoot the dog around so it's square. Nelly sit, stay. You hold the lead. So we hold the lead like this, stay. And you take a couple of steps back. Then all you do is you say the dog's name and then the word come. So you say, Nelly come. As they come, you bring the lead at the same time. As they come, you want the head to come up and you want them to be looking at you and focusing on you. That's what you want. So like this, say, good girl, good girlie. But can you see how Nelly's a little bit skew with there? She's not quite central. So you want to make sure, as you train it, train so they're 100% straight in front of you. So we'll try it again. I'll show you this time how to correct if they're not 100% straight. So watch. Nelly here, good girl. Nelly, sit. So square the dog up first, so it's nice and square before you call its name. Stay. Go back 2 or 3 paces, hold the lead like so. You say the dog's name and then the command then is come. So it's Nelly come. Now again, see she's slightly off. So all we do is we grab the dog's bum, put it there, hold the head, say Nelly come. Can you see? Yeah? Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. We plonk them back. We're still on the big long lead. Plonk them back again. Good, remember, start them off square. Stay. So 2 or 3 paces, hold the lead like so. And all we say is, Nelly come. sit. And again, see, she's not perfect again, so we just tweak around. Sit, oops, come on, sit. So just get them sort of square in front of you, absolutely perfectly square in front. Now come, that's it. So we've got now perfectly square in front. So what you do is you go from 2 or 3 paces, and then it gets longer and longer and longer, all the way down to the end of the hall. Yep. Good girl. Don't forget, lots of fuss when we come back. Oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Progress then to the end of the hallway, with the lead still on, but we're not holding the lead then. And what we do then is we stand right up to the door. And the reason why we do this is because the dog then can't go past us. So we just say the dog's name. Nelly, come. Sit. Now again, you see how she's not quite straight. So we just grab the bum, tweak around. Good girl. Good girl. Just like that. We'll do it again. Nelly here. Nelly, come. So same thing again. Stay. And you want to do this for at least a week. Don't even think about doing this outside. You want to do it where there's no distractions, where it's a nice corridor, the dog can't go anywhere. Keep it like this for at least a week until you get it perfect. Then we go, Nelly, come. Sit. There you go, we've got it nice and straight now. What a good girl. Good girl, there you go. Good girl now, that's a good girl. So remember, when the dog comes back to you, lots of fuss or treats, whatever you want to do. Okay guys, as you can see behind me, you can see the cows behind me, there you go. But you can see we've got loads of frost. It's really cold here in the UK at the moment. We've been -6, -7 today. So yeah, it's been really, really cold. You can see Nelly running around the background, having a good old time, having some fun. So yeah, so we've got loads of frost. So the first thing you want to do is you know that big long lead? Get the big long lead on, and then what you want to do is you want to then let your dog go, but you walk the opposite way, and the dog then will just follow you, or automatically will follow you. Let me show you what I mean, so you can see. These leads can be a bit of a pain because they're so long. So you just got to make sure that once you put them away, they're not all tangled up. They're a bit like Christmas tree lights, to be fair. But yeah, you just got to untangle them. So first thing is get your dog on the lead, and just let the lead then just dangle behind the dog. That's what you need to do. And then you walk one way and just ignore the dog. And the dog then will, 9 times out of 10, or 9.9 times out of 10, they'll just follow you. So, where's Nelly? Nelly, come. Nelly, come. Good girl. Sit. So you can see how Nelly's recall is really good now. I mean, there you go. So we put the long recall lead on, and then this is the important thing with the lead. So get the lead and make it so it's long, like this. So throw it out, so it's long. And then, watch what I mean now. I'll walk that way and Nelly will follow, watch. As soon as the dog follows, then you walk the opposite way. Keep walking the opposite way when the dog follows you, watch. So literally just keep walking the opposite way and the dog will follow. Here you go, look, see she's following now? See? As soon as the dog follows, you walk the opposite way again. There you go. Can you see how that works like magic? Every time, whichever way you go, the dog will follow, then you go the opposite way again. The dog then will want to follow you all the time. It's a bit of a little magic trick. So that's the next step to do. So that's step 3 to do. Don't move on any further forward than that until you've got that perfect every time. Your next step is remember what we did in the hallway, in the corridor, yeah, in the hallway? You do exactly the same thing then outside. So you keep the big long lead on. Like I say, this one, as you can see, this is like 6 meters, this lead, or something like that. So you keep the big long lead on, you sit the dog in front of you, and you literally do exactly the same as we did in the hallway. Exactly the same. So, like so. So, Nelly, come. You have to be careful, these leads, you can get a bit tangled with the dog and stuff, because obviously the length of them. Nelly, come. Good girl. So we sit the dog down. So Nelly, come. Sit. Sit. we sit the dog down. Now, the secret with this is you've got to get the dog's attention, especially when you're out and about, and there's all things happening, but there's cows there, there's birds and all different things. You've got to get the dog's attention, because if the dog is distracted away from you, guess what's going to happen? They're never ever going to come back to you. So you've got to get the dog's attention. So do it like this. So what we do is keep the dog on the long lead, take 2 or 3 steps back, sit, take 2 or 3 steps back, and we get the dog like this. So can you see how the nose is down the floor? We tug on the lead. Nelly, no. Sit. Good girl. So you want the dog to look at you all the time. So you get the dog's attention. So here there's loads of things to look at. Obviously the dog's, and the nose and the scents and all the smells and everything. So Nelly, come. Sit. Good girl. Good girlie. Good girl. So do exactly what we did in the corridor in the hallway. Nelly, come. Good girl. Nelly, sit. Stay. Same thing again. Take a couple more paces back this time. But you want to remember, you've got to get that dog's attention looking at you all the time. You've got to get, Nelly, good girl. That's a good girl. Nelly, come. Nelly, come. Sit. See how she's perfect in front? And that's what you want to get. You want to get that, remember, train for perfection. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, guys, the next step then is you do exactly the same thing, but you don't hold the lead. So you do this. So you let the lead go on the floor. Let it go to as far as it can go. And then you call the dog to you. Nelly, come. Nelly, come here, sit. Now, here's your secret. I'll come a bit closer. Nelly, here. Nelly. Oh. Here's your secret now. Nelly, sit. Sit. Here's your secret. If Nelly had ran past me then and tried to run away, you've got that long lead on so you could correct them. Yeah, makes sense? Now, this is what you want to do. You want to keep doing this and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing for a few weeks. Whatever you do, there's no shortcuts with recall. I promise you there's no shortcuts. So that's what you want to do. Keep practicing and practicing and practicing. What I'm going to show you next is, I'm going to show you now how to correct a dog if the dog runs off. And you've probably never seen this before. And this is the way that I always correct the dogs, and I find this is the way that works 100% every single time. Let me show you now how I would correct a dog if it ran off. Now, the secret is, what most people do is, if their dog runs off, and let's say it's gone for 2 or 3 minutes, they keep shouting the dog's name, and the dog never comes back, the dog never ever comes back. And then the dog then decides to come back, and then the owner then gets really angry with the dog and starts to tell the dog off. That's the worst thing that you can do, because what happens is, Nelly, here, hey, here, sit. Sit, stay. What happens is the dog then associates coming back to you with being told off. So what you've got to do is, if your dog runs off, let's say this area here is where I've called Nelly, and I've called her name, I've told her to come, or I train dogs for the shooting field as well, so I'm training Nelly on the whistle. So let's say I whistled her, or let's say I called her name. She eat it. Don't eat grass, Nelly. Thank you. Thank you. Sit. Sit down. Don't let your dog eat grass, obviously, and things like that. Correct them. So let's say I'd called Nelly's name now, and she hadn't come back, and it was in this area where I called her. So 4 minutes have gone by. She eventually comes back. I'd put Nelly on the lead. I would then bring her back to this specific area, this particular place, get her on the lead, put her on the lead, and I'd put the lead, how I've shown you before in other videos, where you put the lead literally right behind the ears, like so, and then I'd do this. I would then say her name, and I'd go, Nelly, come, Nelly, come, Nelly, come. I'll do it like this so you can see. Nelly, come, Nelly, come. Only in the area where you first called the name. That's what you want to do. So literally put the lead on, put the dog in front, and go, Nelly, come, Nelly, come. Tiny little jerks on the lead, as you can see. Tiny little tugs on the lead, like so. Nelly, Nelly, come, Nelly, come, come. Like so. Then, put the dog back in this area, sit them down, make sure the long lead's on, take 2 or 3 steps back, Nelly, come, sit. Good girl. Then lots and lots of fuss. Good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah. Lots and lots of fuss then when they come back. That's how you train recall. Here's a golden rule for you. Let's say you're getting pretty confident now and your dog's coming back. One of the things that you'd never ever ever want to do is when you let the dog off the lead, don't let the dog off the lead like this. Don't do this. This is a big no-no. So don't take the lead off fast. Don't do this. Don't do this like that and then say go play. Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that, because that sets you up then for failure massively. Because your dog then will go, oh, phew, I'm gone, and it could just run off. So how you do it is this. Nelly, come. Good girl, sit. What you do first is you put your dog back on the lead. You do some proper heel work first. Really get them so they know that they're under your control. So do something like this. So Nelly, heel. Walk around in squares and circles. Change direction. Sit. And let them know that you're in command first. Heel. Sit. So just let them know. Here. Let them know that you're in command first. So don't let them get away with anything before you let the lead off to give them their free time. When you do give them free time, this is how you want to do it. So you take the lead off very slowly. So the lead, loosen the lead like so. Nelly, Look, don't let them sniff the floor. Take the lead off very slow. And just stand around for a bit. Once you've taken the lead off, then what you do is you do this. Put the lead back on again. And get the dog then used to having the lead put back on again all the time. And the reason why you do that is because some dogs will associate every single time that you put the lead back on them, that means it's home time, they're going to go home, and they don't want to go home. So get in that habit of taking the lead off, good girl, take the lead off very slowly, and then, Nelly, sit, and just put the lead back on again. Nelly, sit. Just get into that habit, and then let them have playtime. Just think how nice it'll be when you can just let your dog run like this, enjoy themselves, and run around and do things. But first of all, you've got to follow my rules. You've got to follow these little tips and these strategies, because if you don't, I promise you it won't work. You can then get to this point where you can just call the dog and they'll come straight back. Nelly, come. Good girl. Okay guys, we've come to the end of this session now, and we've come to the end of this video, and I'd love you to try my tips and my techniques and let me know how you get on in the comments below. Don't forget, if you guys are struggling with your dog, there's 3 ways that we can help you. The first way is that we can do one-to-one coaching, where we can come to your house and we can train you and your dog that way. The second way is we do the online coaching and support, where we're getting some really great results with that, where you send us your WhatsApp videos and I then train you that way. The last way is, if you're close to Staffordshire or Newcastle-under-Lyme, we are running dog training classes. So just pop over to thedogtherapist.co.uk. The link is down there somewhere. Just pop over there and you'll see everything, and let's see all the different ways we can help you. And me and Nelly will see you all on the next video.